Welcome to Thrive Radio. I'm your host, Amy Montgomery, entrepreneur and digital marketing agency owner. Today, my guest is Gurvinder Ravery. She is a travel advisor who, along with Travel Advisor Leslie Coleman, runs a small travel group, and it's a company called Suitcase Gals. This group is for women over 40 who want to travel, immerse themselves in new cultures, and make new friendships along the way. Welcome to the show, Gurvi.
Thank you so much, Amy. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited for our conversation today. For everyone that is listening, I want to mention that one of the reasons why I brought Gurvi on today was I know that there are so many entrepreneurs out there, business women that really could use a vacation. And there's so many reasons why we don't go by ourselves. And it may be you can't find the girlfriends to go with, or you don't want to travel alone, or you think about your safety, all of that. And so this is a really great opportunity. And for those of you that are just looking for ways to find a little freedom in your life, a little bit of break, I thought that this would be a great podcast. So if we could first start, you could share your entrepreneur journey and what got you to where you are today in building the organization that you are. And if you can just share a little bit around that would be great.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you. I've been sharing the love of travel for over 11 years, and Leslie herself has been doing it also for many years. And the two combined has been well over 25 years. And when people talk about travel, like it makes you happy, it gets you excited. People start thinking about the moments when they've traveled and how excited they are to do that. And then I think what happened in 2020 is every business, including the travel business, just came to a halt, right? And no one knew where to go next. And there were about 5 of us that were travel advisors that came together, and we would have weekly calls just to keep each other motivated with everything that was happening, because besides canceling a ton of trips, we were just there. And from there, what happened is Leslie and we both separately, not even knowing, I created a girlfriend's getaway group on Meetup, and Leslie created Suitcase Gals. And it was very funny because by the time we realized, we're like, oh, that's so funny that we did this. And we realized quickly that the members that she had on her group were also on my group. So people really wanted to travel. We realized people do want to travel and they wanted to be a part of this girlfriend's getaway group. And so we decided to combine efforts, and Suitcase Gals was born in April of 2021. And here we are today. Leslie and I have both traveled extensively. We have traveled probably every month in 2020 through today. So we know the destinations. We have built relationships with hotel managers, with resort managers, and with people on the ground that are in those destinations. So when you're traveling, you're not alone. And if it's 10 p.m. there and it's 3 a.m. here, we have someone on the ground that you can get in touch with if you had any issues. We have built those relationships, those connections. We have experienced the hotels, so we can tell you where to stay safely and be able to provide that for our clients. So I think that has given us a really good ground level for building Suitcase Gals and creating our trips for women to come along with us.
What a pivot story.
Yeah.
From the pandemic, and so many people have had to pivot, but I think that what an amazing idea to come up with too. I think
Thank
that's
you.
great. Yeah. So you focus on women over 40. How else would you describe your ideal clients and those that go on your trips, and who generally shows up and what size is the group, that sort of thing?
Sure. So the best way to describe Suitcase Gals, we come in all shapes and sizes, and it doesn't matter if you're married, if you're divorced, single, or widowed. Many people want to travel, right? But sometimes you just don't have a travel companion. And that's what makes this group so ideal. And women definitely travel differently than men. And I think that we share similar interests, and we're looking for new friends. We're looking for bonding and really being able to go on these trips in a special way where you feel safe. And that's what we're creating. And one of the things that really sets us apart is so I'm glad you asked that question, because We're not that travel group that's 20 to 30 people deep. And I think we've all been there where you're on this tour and you have 20 to 30 people and the tour leader is in the front with an umbrella like, hey guys, and talking about the points of interest, but you can't hear a thing because you're in the back and there's a ton of chatter going on in between you and the group leader. But that's not us. We really try to embrace the journey of off the beaten path. We try to embrace local traditions and really make some local connections with our group because they're smaller in number and the number differs. So if we're going to Europe, we may try to ideally have about 8 to 10 women because that allows us all to take one transfer and really be able to go to these hidden gems within the destination versus a huge group that won't allow us to do that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably easier to get through some of the events as well with
Yes.
a little bit smaller group. Because if you're out there traveling with a really large group, sometimes you got to wait for the slow people or whatever it is. But if it's a smaller group, if there's two people that are slower, then they just huddle up together.
Yeah, it's true. And the other thing is we also do for our tours, we do a lot of skip the line options so that we're not waiting in the massive line. We're able to go through the line quicker. So we think of all these things ahead of time and they're already curated into the trip, which makes it really nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So what are some of the benefits of traveling with a group like this, especially for those who have not done it before, or maybe they have gone on group trips, but it was either so constraining that they didn't feel like they got to really do what they wanted to do. So do you have freedom on the trip and to do what you want? What does the layout kind of look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we don't consume your whole day. You do have some tours that are scheduled throughout the trip, and we do try to give you a little bit each day so that you do have something to do, because that's the reason why people are coming along on this trip, is to be able to actually make some friendships, immerse in the culture, and get to see different things. But you also have some me time. So know that going in that we do not consume your day. Many do opt to just hang out with each other because now you've built all these new friendships and you've found a new group of women. And I feel like with women, we're just stronger when we come together, right? Like it's just different. It's really different. I feel like we like cozy dinners. We like to share a glass of wine and laugh and really make connection. And that's what happens on our trip. We do give you that free time, but you are able to choose what to do during that free time. And sometimes everybody just chooses to be together.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some of the places that you travel and what do you focus on while you're there? I know you've talked a little bit about it. Is everything planned out, or do you give them a choice of what to do, or does the group decide?
Okay. So all of our trips are actually on all of our social sites and our website and so forth. And they are completely curated by Leslie and I. And we have put a lot of thought to the trips. The trips are chosen as we put out polls on our social media to see what women are looking for, right? We're not going to put out a trip and then no one's interested. So we really do connect with our members to find out what is it that they would like and what is it that they want to do. We have trips that are posted out right now from 2023 and 24. And we have a lot of international. We've got an amazing trip coming up in April where we still have a little bit more room, but it's for Scotland and Ireland. We've got a Discover Paris trip that's out there. We've got a Rhine River on the Danube for Christmas, which we did this last year, and it was phenomenal and really nice opportunity. But we also have some great Caribbean trips because sometimes people just want to relax and enjoy and really immerse on an island, and that can happen too. We also allow domestic trips. There are some really nice trips. One that comes to my mind is the Cowgirl Up on the Dude Ranch. That was very popular in Montana. We had a huge wait list for that. So that's out there again for 2023 in the fall. And we've got one coming up for the national parks. So there are a lot of different opportunities for people, whether they are not comfortable yet going international. There's a lot of domestic opportunities. And we also give members an opportunity to get to know each other with meetups, and they're local.
Okay.
So going to dinner, we've got a lot of dinner opportunities, brunch opportunities, things of that sort, so that you can meet the other suitcase gals before you actually get out there.
Oh, that's nice. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So you can figure out who you get along with and who you don't. Because I don't know
That's
about
true.
you. I've been on trips and like I'm thinking the trip I'm thinking of, it was not for a vacation, but I went and I did like a charity type of a thing.
Oh,
And
nice.
so
Uh-huh.
yeah, and it was in Italy, but we ended up yeah, and so this was not vacation. We would stay in these different hotels, or we stayed in an old winery for a while. But it's funny because and this is when I was younger, and there were some older individuals. And now that I'm almost 51, I'm 51 basically in a week. I understand like wanting to have your space, wanting certain things a certain way, needing your alarm clock or whatever your isms are. And
Yep.
I appreciate that a lot more now than when I was younger. I just used to be like, what's their problem? Because we would go into some place and then usually the older generation would run in there and establish, I this is my chair and this is my bed. And I would just look at them like, what is wrong? And now though, like when you're older, you need that because you're
Yeah.
so used to your process. Even if you're married, you've got your process you go through, you got your space, you got your certain things you're used to. And so there's a lot of that anxiety. I think if you're going to go travel with a group, am I going to get along with them? Am I going to be able to have my own space, enough space, and all those little isms that go along with traveling with somebody?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think the nice thing is we make just travel seamless. You don't have to think about anything, and that's the beauty of it. And when people are concerned about, oh, I don't know if I can room with anyone, right? You have that opportunity to have your own room. So I think that you're coming into this trip with everything done for you. We take care of your trip details from your hotel accommodations, your airport transfers, your tours. We offer you travel insurance. We will suggest a flight for you. So all of those things are done so that you don't have to think about those things. And coming to these meetups actually allows you to also try to find your own roommate if you want. Those types of things that make it easier for you to say, yes, you know what? I'm ready to take this trip and I'm doing it.
I love that.
Yeah.
You prepare everybody. So you gave us a little bit of a list with everything. Is there anything else that you provide in preparation for the trip?
So we also try to, once we start getting deposits or interest in the trip, we try to make smaller Zooms with just that group. So we understand that that people can come from nationwide, and sometimes you may not be able to make a local event. So we do offer Zooms specifically for that trip so that you can start to get to know everyone. And sometimes you may have someone come in who's, you know what, I know somebody else who may want to come, and I think they'd be perfect for this trip. It just gives you that connection all prior to the trip. And so that's really helpful.
So can you share some of your stories from some of the individuals that have gone on your trips and what they've experienced or what their feedback has been?
Yeah, I'm going to give you one of our first trips to Iceland. And it was, I think that trip, and it was the first Suitcase Gals trip, sums up like what we're made of. It was January, so it was cold in Iceland, right? Like it was rainy, it was cold and windy, and there were about 11 gals that went on that trip. And every day the weather for it challenged you to every means, right? Because you were going through ice caves, you were going through climbing glaciers, like you got the ropes and you're all teamwork, right? It's kind of like that teamwork bonding that you did back in the days. And every day was a challenge. And what we saw come out of that was every single lady who was on that trip stepped up to help every other person. And it was amazing to see what type of connections were made from that trip. And I'm talking from the beginning to the very end. It was everyone stayed together the entire trip. No one veered off alone because there were so many memories and experiences from the day that happy hours made for great conversation. dinners, and then just hanging out afterwards when you're thawing out because it was so cold. Yet all of these experiences to experience Iceland made it that much better by having someone else. Because when those 11 women went on this trip, no one knew anyone. And now we've had women from that trip actually take other trips together because they've now built friendships, and now they've taken other Suitcase Gals trips together.
That's
And
amazing.
that, I think, yeah, that to us, we were like, it touched our heart because it really did. It summed up what Suitcase Gals was, and we did it. And we did it in the first trip. So it was really nice.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
that's so important. You know, I mean, we're talking a little bit about this prior to the podcast about how, one, to your point that you just made, it's not easy to make new friendships as you get older because there's not as many events or things that you're going to. There's a lot of events for younger generation, but not necessarily for older women specifically, that sort of thing. So it
Yeah.
can be difficult to go out there and meet friends. So this is really great. And we were talking about just the pandemic and how there's even been even less events and less things for you to do to
Right.
get out there and to connect with people. And it's very easy to isolate yourself or just not go out and not take time to go on vacations and things just because, of everything that has happened.
Yeah.
And it's so important to break out of that.
That's
So
a really good point and I think that's why Suitcase Gals was born. We realized there was this gap and there is this need. And so we're so excited to bring this and be able to provide these trips because it does build new connections that you probably otherwise never would have had if you didn't take the leap and come on one of these trips with us.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
And I was going to add to that, what makes these trips really different as well is either Leslie or myself will actually lead one of these trips. So you always have a tour leader that's with you. So again, like whether you didn't have to think prior to, and you don't have to think when you're on the trip, you just count down. And there's a great app out there called Vacation Countdown, which I love, and it countdowns your trip. So once you put that deposit on, you just keep counting down and you're ready to go.
I love that. And to that point that you always have somebody that's dedicated to everything and the whole trip, I think is good too, because when I was younger, I
Mhm.
used to take off to Maui by myself a lot. It's actually like one of my top places to vacation
Nice.
because you just go relax.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I'd go by myself, but I would befriend all the tour guides
Yeah.
and everybody that was doing all the tours. And so if I would go on the waterfall tour, whatever, I was best friends for the day with the tour guide and I just hung out with them, right?
Yep. Yep.
And even if you don't make connections with everybody that's there, like you always have the tour guide.
Yeah.
So at least that was my security blanket.
And it's the same thing, right? Like we're the tour guides and we can make it happen for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I love to ask this question to especially business owners because I think that sometimes it's so easy to talk about building a successful business and all the things that it entails. And we see so much stuff on social media, and
Mhm.
there's the rubber that meets the road and the reality of everything. And I always like to ask if you're able to give yourself one piece of advice when you first started out in your journey, what would it be?
I would probably say to be able to say no. I feel like we feel like it's rude to say no
Mhm.
and we take on everything. And sometimes you can't take on everything and it's a little much
Yeah.
or it consumes you. And I feel like learning the value of saying no has made me learn the value of me
Yeah.
and what I'm capable of. And so I would probably say that would be my main. If I would have learned that earlier, there would have been a lot of time saved and a lot of more effectiveness in the way that I did things.
Isn't that the truth?
Mhm.
I have definitely that rings true on so many levels with myself as well. So I know that people that are listening are saying, "Oh yeah, I know that too." Very true, definitely. But if there are individuals that would love to get a hold of you, check out your what you've got planned, what's the best way to contact you, or where would you lead them to go check things out?
Wow, we are everywhere, but please take a look at our meetup at Suitcase Gals or our website at Suitcase Gals and every social media outlet there out there. Please connect with us. We would love to have you. And if you're able to make a local event, even better.
Perfect. And I'll put your links down below. Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing how we can take a vacation.
Absolutely. Thank you for
So
having me.
needed. Yes,
Appreciate it.
definitely. And if you'd like more information about this podcast or upcoming shows, you can visit acalltothrive.com. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful week.